interesting in that they're quite political. They drive us to ask ourselves the question of if humans deserve to survive on this planet. You know, there's always this question, and in this film is particularly well developed.
I think it is a political film, and in a weird way, it feels like a topical film. We live in an age when walls, barriers are being built up on all sides. I mean, I come from the UK. Our country has just voted. My country has just voted to sort of cut itself off from friends and enemies alike, in I think in pursuit of some illusory goal of independence or sovereignty. Whole groups of people, the poor, the disabled, refugees, Muslims, are being told that they're not people at all, that their humanity is in question. I think this is a film that's about being able or not being able to find the human in the other. I think that's what the central theme is.
I have a question for Sonia. We're talking about the human in us. Maybe you can tell us how, what the director told you he was expecting from you, and if he directed you very much. I identified a variety of, you do really interesting things with your eyes. There's the very human, normal look, and there's the hungry one, and then there's the food coma one, and there's the one you have that's kind of like a computer learning almost. How did he direct you through all of those variations?
Colin gave me a certain way to act, and then Colin gave me a certain way to act, and if I had an idea or whatever, I said it to him, and then he tried to think of a way where it could suit us both, which was really good. And with Melanie, I think she's half human, half zombie, so it's like a completely different life to her from Miss Justineau and the rest of them. But I think when she turns into something else, it's something like she don't know how to manage herself, so it's really hard to hold back. But I think she kind of settles down. But when I was even transforming, I found it a bit scary at first, because I wasn't able to transform into Melanie. But the actors and Colin, they all really, really helped me like transform into the character, and I felt like her. So.
How did they help you?
By giving me like little tips on how to maybe turn into a hungry, and how to like bite. Like I had to like bite my jaw like really hard. So like, they gave me little tips and things like that. So yeah.
Very precise, very technical.
Yeah. Like one of the stunt director, he helped me with the movement. Like in one of the fighting scenes, I fought another feral kid, and that was hard because we're both full zombie, and then but also human. So it's that was a bit hard. But yeah, he really helped me like with all of that and the fighting and everything. So yeah.
Maybe Gemma and Senya, can you tell us how you work together and describe the energy there was between the actors?
So I met Senya at the chemistry read, which we'd done. So we'd had that kind of time, hadn't we, to kind of get to know each other a bit. And I think on set there was a really good energy between the actors. It was really buoyant and fun, and I think a lot of that's down to Colin, who sort of encourages that, and Cammy, of course. And also Senya, like you kept us all, you know, she'd come on set and bring people like sweets and things, and they'd be like, wow, and presents and all that. But it meant that there was this real kind of camaraderie between all of us, and therefore a very sort of natural way of behaving with each other. And so I didn't feel like between action and cut, it was like now we perform. It felt very natural.
Were there rehearsals?
No. Did we have rehearsals? You might have.
Yeah, I had rehearsals when I did like the fighting scenes and things like that. But with me and Jem, I don't think I never like had a fight with her in the film. We were always like best friends in the film, so no need to fight. Yeah.
So you had to rehearse with Paddy Considine more relations?
Yeah, in the film, Sergeant Potts didn't really like Melanie. Like, all the children were just a kind of side thing to him. But I think throughout the film, he created a special bond with Melanie, and he kind of realised that even though she might be half human, half zombie, she is like him. She's not like the other children. Like, she is like him, very alike. And so yeah, I had to practice with like some stunts with Paddy, and they went really well. Like, when we filmed it, it was really fun. That was one of my best scenes. So, yeah.
So you felt prepared once you arrived on the shoot?
Yeah, because we practiced all before, and sometimes me and all the actors used to always say our lines to each other before we go on, so that really helped me.
Sounds like a really good atmosphere.
Yeah, definitely. It was like a big family on the set.
What's your best memory?
I think all of it really. Like, the scenes were just amazing. I loved filming them, every single bit. Like the fighting, shooting Paddy. That was one of my favourite ones. But everyone just made me feel really welcomed, and it was just such an amazing experience.
How about you, Gemma? What are your favourite memories from this shoot?
It's quite rare for me to enjoy a shoot from start to finish, and I really did enjoy every second of it. I loved those intimate scenes. I just loved all of it. Loved working with Senya. I loved all of our stuff together. Yeah, it was a happy shoot.
Would you explain that by the fact that also the director really loved the story and the material he was in charge of? I suppose.
Yeah, I think what was really unusual is that the process started when my column and I looked at the short story and worked together on it, and we all wanted to make the same film right from the start, and that carried on with all the HODs and all the actors, and it's sort of still here now. It's very unusual to be in a chain of events where everyone knows exactly what we're doing and we're all on the same wavelength.
I understand also that something that was well in place and that contributes to how good the film looks is the locations were researched very early. Actually, were part of inspiring the whole thing.
Yeah, in fact, when we read the short story, we then looked at a lot of derelict locations throughout the world, and we went to Chernobyl to shoot some of the scenes of the cityscapes. We sent a second unit there to shoot all the cities overtaken by nature, and then we integrated London as part of that. And it was an integral part of the development of the script. And in fact, we had a lot of photographs as references before you even started writing the full treatment.
Yeah, but I think it's an interesting aspect of Colum's aesthetic, Colum's vision as a director. He's very analog. I mean, there are digital effects in the film, and there are things there was some green screening, but almost everything you see was achieved in camera. If there's an in-camera way of doing it, that's what Colum prefers to do. So an awful lot of the sets were scarcely dressed at all. They were real places. The look of the zombies is overwhelmingly done through makeup and prosthetics.
And I think that really helps the actors as well, because when they're on a set, that's it. That's exactly the environment. You're not just in a big green screen warehouse and it's like good luck with the acting. Is you can interact with absolutely everything around you and it looks real.